Pnawn da, mae'n bleser bod yma heddiw. Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be with you here today at the launch of the National Conversation on the Wales We Want. This is an important milestone in our efforts to improve the lives of people across Wales, ensuring that we leave a better legacy for our children's children. Last year, I asked Peter Davies, the Commissioner for Sustainable Futures, to pilot a national conversation on the Wales we want. And I'm very pleased to be here at the launch and to share the platform with such inspirational speakers. To see so many people here today and a rich and wide-ranging series of events planned to run across Wales is very exciting. As most of you will know, the Welsh Government is planning to introduce what we're calling the Future Generations Bill. This is the working title for our legislation to put sustainable development at the heart of our public service. The bill is about providing a shared vision of the Wales that we want, with our generation taking responsibility for improving the well-being of Wales and providing a sustainable Wales for decades to come. We want to stimulate our businesses, our public service, the third sector and government to work together to achieve a shared vision. Our refreshed Sustainable Development Charter can be a useful driver for positive change. The bill will set ambitious, long-term goals to reflect the Wales that we want to see. This is a distinct Welsh approach. We intend to do this by putting a set of key goals into law. Thinking about goals isn't unique to Wales. It has been aligned to a similar process taking place at the international level through the United Nations to replace the Millennium Development Goals. It's clear to me that smaller devolved nations like Wales can show a lead and set an example about how to put in practice the conditions for the well-being of a sustainable Wales now and in the future. Last month, I spoke to UNICEF regarding our proposals for Wales and was encouraged by the positive response that we received. In Wales, we have the opportunity to lead on this, building on our long history of sustainable development and the examples we see in business, which is so often leading the way. The Welsh Government's proposed draft goals for Wales have each been shaped to reflect the long-term economic, social and environmental well-being of Wales and, more importantly, to work together as an integrated set of goals. I want to feed these into the discussions that will take place during this national conversation. The proposed draft goals that set out the Wales we want in 2050 are: Wales is prosperous and innovative. Wales uses a fair share of natural resources. Wales is a more equal nation. Communities across Wales are safe, cohesive and resilient. People in Wales participate in our shared culture with a thriving, living Welsh language. People in Wales are healthier. And I think in terms of the video clip that we just saw, those goals chime with that. Now, these are only proposed draft goals. They may be modified, not least as a result of the national conversation. There will be more meat on the bone as we move towards the introduction of the bill. These are our place markers to help the conversation across Wales. This is the Wales I and the Welsh Government want to see over the long term. It is our expression of what the well-being of a sustainable Wales should look like. But I recognise that different approaches and emphasis could help with what's being developed. This is where we need your help. The approach we're taking in seeking your views is a little different, as Peter has mentioned, in that it isn't a formal consultation and that it's led by an independent commissioner. But it's important for us to understand the views of people and communities across Wales on their priorities, challenges and needs for the future. I want the views of rural and urban communities, children, young people, older people and those in the middle, businesses, voluntary groups and the public organisations who serve us all. Getting young people involved in these conversations is important to me, as we need to know about the Wales that they want to inherit. In this regard, I'm particularly grateful to the children and young people from Dainscourt Primary School, Fitzallen High School, Millbank Primary School and Ysgol Gyfun Cymraeg Plasmawr for coming along to the poetry workshops this morning. I wait with bated breath to hear the poems for the Wales we want from Ieurig and Rufus. I'm reminded of the words of Gwyneth Lewis that stand out so clearly on the face of this building: "In these stones, horizons sing." I think that they are an apt expression of what we're working towards. I'm told that Gwyneth wrote those words to reflect the cultural ambition of the Wales Millennium Centre, thus recognising where we've come from and where we want to be. This is what I hope we'll get from the national conversation, an understanding of what's important to us as a nation and the pathway that we want to follow. Now, looking far ahead can be challenging and difficult. The challenges and priorities that we face at the moment may change in the future. We're supporting this pilot national conversation to help us try and find what works and what doesn't. The national conversation is an exercise that we hope will be repeated in the future by the new Commissioner for Future Generations. We propose to ensure that engagement with people across Wales is secured in law so that it does not become a one-off conversation. This is just the beginning of a journey that will affect every person as well as communities and business in Wales. Doing it well, and that may be hard and challenging at times, will depend on everybody, government, business, the third sector, people and communities across Wales, working better together to achieve the Wales that we want. So to conclude, I look very much to hearing the results of these conversations in the weeks ahead. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much.